pressure is 200 over 100 for the last 5 weeks. I can't sleep at night.
Miss Melvin,
What's happening?
All right, buckle up. We're not even 10 seconds in and someone's blood pressure is 200 over 100. That's not just stress, that's 5-alarm stress. And fittingly, today's case literally involves pulled fire alarms. Coincidence? Probably not. We've got multiple cases stacked together: balcony issues, pest control disputes, alleged heat failures, and now fire alarms being pulled when a judge says, "Is that 2 cases, 3 cases?" That's your first red flag. That means this isn't a simple landlord-tenant spat. This is layers and layers, and housing court usually mean escalation. So here's the big question. Is this a tenant overreacting to safety concerns or a landlord missing serious maintenance issues? Because when safety gets involved, especially with an 83-year-old tenant, emotions run high and legal patience runs thin.
Town Center Place versus Melvin. All 3 cases. Is that or 2 cases? 3 cases.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Yes, good afternoon. Yes. Okay, state your appearance, please. And Miss Melvin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, state your name for me.
Secret Margaret Melvin.
Thank you. Okay, I'm almost afraid to ask, but where are we?
We're having some issues, Your Honor.
Pardon?
We are having some issues, Your Honor.
Okay, what are the issues?
We have a few, I believe it was three occasions?
Yeah.
2 occasions in which we pulled the fire alarm for not having heat in our unit.
Okay.
We also have a note on the door that we're not permitted entry for insect control or pest services, which was a important point in this case to continue that. And then we went in for to assess the heat as she was concerned about it, and the unit is reading 85 degrees. So
I'm sorry.
The unit is reading 85 degrees. There's no heat issue. So the fire alarm pulls were not only unwarranted for a fire, but also the concern in which she complained about wasn't present.
Pulling a fire alarm is not just dramatic, it's legally serious. In most jurisdictions, false fire alarms can lead to fines, civil penalties, or even criminal charges if deemed intentional. But here's the nuance. Intent matters. If someone genuinely believes there's a fire risk, especially after experiencing a previous electrical fire, that becomes a reasonableness question. Would a reasonable person in her position think there was danger? And let's not ignore the age factor. She's 83. She already experienced a fan catching fire, so when she hears a poof sound, that trauma memory kicks in. The court now has to decide. Was this reckless misuse of emergency services or a senior reacting in fear?
Is that it?
That's what I have at this moment.
Okay.
But,
all right. Okay, go ahead.
One of the
State your name. State your
my
name.
name is Michael Melvin. I'm Sandra's son.
Okay.
She did pull the fire alarm on an occasion. She was in the bathroom, turned on the fan. The fan caught on fire. It was blowing out smoke and flames.
Okay. Did you report that then to the landlord?
They know about it.
Okay. And so that was on one occasion, my understanding.
It was like 3 months ago. There was an electrical fire. About 4 days or 4 weeks later, there was another electrical fire in the building on apartment 508. Okay, this time.
Okay, so and counsel, what were the dates?
I'm talking about 11/27, correct? 11/27 on 2 occasions that day.
Okay, so both happened on 11/27. So
I'm sorry.
that's
One on 11/27.
Hold on, I can find it.
And then 11:18.
Okay, so 11:18 and 11:20.
Wait, I'm sorry.
1:18 and one on the 27th.
Yes.
11:18 and 11:27.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I have proofs if you'd like to see.
That what?
I have some proofs if you'd like to see.
Well,
I'm offering, you don't have to take it, Your Honor.
yeah, no, I know, but I guess what I'm trying to figure out is when the bathroom fan did whatever it did, that was not one of these 2 dates.
No, no.
Okay. So then I'm going to ask this. Why'd you pull the fire alarm on the 18th and the 27th?
Well, when I turned on the heat in the unit, it went poof. And had my experience with the bathroom, I pulled the fire alarm because it's right outside my door.
Okay, so when,
I expected to think go into a flame, and I didn't want it to get any bigger.
okay, let me ask this.
So with the
Hang on. Are these gas furnaces?
No, they're boiler systems, I'm sorry. Boiler system, but there is an electrical fan in the system.
Got it. Okay. But there isn't a flame of any type.
Not in the units, no, Your Honor.
All right, but you heard a sound, right? And
Yeah.
so because of that and the experience that you had with the bathroom, you pulled the fire alarm.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Did that occur on both occasions?
Yes.
So on both of the times you pulled the fire alarm, you did that because you heard that sound?
Well, they didn't come and didn't make it up.
The judge is drawing a bright legal line. Even if the heat isn't working, pulling a fire alarm is not an appropriate response. That's proportionality. Courts care deeply about proportional response, and listen carefully. The judge says something important. Pulling emergency resources away from real emergencies, that's the public policy argument. Courts don't just look at personal inconvenience. They look at community impact, but here's where it gets complicated. She says, I'm not that knowledgeable. I'm 83 years old. Now we're in the realm of vulnerability and capacity, not incompetence, but understanding. Should the legal system treat her actions strictly or with flexibility because of age and fear?
Operating, so I have heat coming out of the heating unit. It didn't work. A little bit on the top of the filter was a little bit heat, but the whole unit didn't keep my apartment. It didn't keep it warm. They called in some expert, I guess, a little kid, and he looked at it and says, oh no, it's fine.
Okay, but
But I didn't
when they-
get any heat.
okay, but when they went to your unit regarding the heat, they said your unit was at 85.
Well, was it a sunny day or was it a cloudy day?
Can I add?
Sure.
Okay. I know I did come, one day I did come out there. Renee told me that she put the fire alarm because of her furnace. Her furnace hasn't worked, the fan hasn't worked since October. I'm assuming the noise she heard are the capacitor for the fan to start. When we went up there, when they were doing the countertops, she sent up on the maintenance man's a younger white fellow, real nice fellow. He come out there, he went over, he flipped it to low, he flipped it to high a couple of times. He said it definitely wasn't working, and his first protocol was to go get a new thermostat and try the thermostat before they called anybody.
Got it.
But been back since then.
So the unit, are you saying that there is not heat in the unit now?
If you put your hands on the wall, it does not blow out, the fans do not come out. There's a thermostat, like she said, there's a fan of water in the wall.
Right.
Yeah. There's a switch to turn that fan on or off, that is not working.
Okay, so the switch to turn the fan on is not working.
The thermostat.
You guys know anything about that? I mean, the thermostat's gonna do a couple of things. It's gonna, but, okay. Yeah.
Our units, it's heat or hot.
Understand that. Because like I say, if you go.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What floor are you on?
Right.
Okay. So some of the heat that she's gonna receive are gonna be from other units. And so my only question would be, is her blower working?
According to our expert, yes.
Expert who?
Pro Plumbing Heating Company.
When did they go out?
They were there on 11/18. They sent us an invoice. It says the heating system was functioning properly at the time of assessment.
Okay.
They're there, the maintenance man was there, he said it wasn't working.
When was that? When the maintenance man?
The counters.
That was prior to.
That was prior to that point. But on the 18th, somebody came out and said it's operating. Okay.
That is the note that I
I
have.
was there, turned it on, turned it up on high, fell all the way up, nothing. Flipped it over to cool.
Okay, but let's put it this way. They have somebody that less than a month ago was saying that the heating's working. I'm going to assume that the heating is working unless I see something else. I'm also going to indicate that even if the heat is not working, and Ms. Melman, it's not an appropriate response to pull a fire alarm.
He said you cannot pull the fire alarm for those reasons.
Well, I don't understand that, but you said experience in the bathroom.
No, okay.
No, that's in my mind.
Okay, but here's the problem with that, Ms. Melman, is that when you do something like that, and it's not a true emergency where there is indeed a fire, or a threat of fire, or a threat to somebody's life, then what ends up happening is you're pulling resources away from other activities or duties that the fire department needs to deal with.
I understand that, but I'm not that knowledgeable about heat and this and the fire department, all that. I'm 83 years old. I'm supposed to be nice and safe and warm at home.
Okay, I understand that, but you can't be pulling the fire alarm unless.
I will not do it the next center.
Okay, very good. Okay, so now there's the issue of insect control. Why'd you say they couldn't come in the unit? Why'd you put a sign up?
Well, remember the first day in court I came and I brought the sack was 22 pounds of mouse poop?
Hey,
Well,
how am I to forget?
the exterminator doesn't come and pick up the dead mice. So I have to do that. And I take it down to the office and ask them what to do with it. Then the exterminator come, he will put the box down, but he didn't bring any traps. Like today he came, and the last time he came was like September, and they posted this note on the door yesterday that pest control is coming tomorrow, and there will be between 9, and it is mandatory. Mandatory means I have to be out of the apartment with my pets for at least 4 hours. Clear out all your kitchen counters and items stored under the kitchen. Clear off the top of the refrigerator so the tech can pull it out. Which is what I did. That's why I got all the mice poop. Remove all your sheets, covers, dust ruffles, comforters, pillows, and other bedding covers from your mattress and box spring, including protective bed bug cover. If not removed, the technician will remove them. Tenant must stay out of the bedroom treated area for a minimum of 4 hours. Remove all personal items from furniture, couch, chair for bed bug inspection only. If you have any question, you notify them. Well, with all this remodeling and removing stuff out of my apartment, the whole thing is a big mess. It's gonna take me about 6 months to be able to find stuff in my apartment. And this eviction proves that the mice not there, because I haven't seen any mice in 2 weeks. And they don't come up and inspect mice or come and pick them up. But I go down there.
All right, but
Oh.
Ms. Melvin, here's the thing. The unit has to be treated for insects. Okay?
No,
It has to be treated. So you have to cooperate in that treatment. And the way that, hang on, the way that that's going to happen is they are providing you what they need you to do so that the treatment can happen. Okay? So what you were reading to me was a pretty standard letter that tenants or notification that tenants get at all the.
Now we're shifting from fire alarms to pest control, and believe it or not, this is just as legally significant. Landlords have a legal duty to maintain habitable premises that includes pest control, but tenants have a reciprocal duty. Access. If a landlord can't enter to treat the unit that can legally justify eviction, in some cases the preparation list she read: clearing counters, removing bedding, vacating for 4 hours. That's absolutely standard in multi-unit pest treatments. It's inconvenient, yes. But legally unreasonable, probably not. The tension here is autonomy versus compliance. She feels overwhelmed, boxes everywhere, remodeling chaos, but the law doesn't bend easily for inconvenience. Here's the retention question. Is she resisting because she's difficult or because she's overwhelmed?
Complexes that I think I hear, I could almost mount that list before you as you were saying it. That's what has to be done to prepare the unit so that it can be treated.
well, it was done 4 months earlier when they came in and
But-
put up
but-
all the noses, all the stuff there. And I had to pick up all the dead mouse even off the balcony. So I went through all that treatment.
But you can't just treat once and that's it. It's a periodic kind of treatment that they have to do to make sure that there aren't these insects in the apartment. Okay? So that it's gonna happen more than once. And one of the reasons why they give you that notice of that list is so that you're aware what you need to do so that when the treatment people come, they can just get their job done. You're out of your unit and they can move on and do what else they need to do.
Yeah, but all the stuff out of the kitchen, all the bedroom,
But-
all the stuff is all over the place. Plus, well, you're supposed to put it, if you take it off the stove, take it off here, take it over there. Well, old people who are seniors.
I
I've
know.
been there, so, since 2006, and we never had this kind of a treatment.
Okay, but that's a pretty standard treatment. Okay, if they weren't treating that way before, I'm not sure why they weren't, but that's a pretty standard treatment. All right. And the problem is, Ms. Melvin, is that if they aren't able to treat in that fashion, you actually end up in a situation where they may have to treat the place more frequently because if everybody doesn't cooperate in that process.
But they just did my apartment for 3 months. They're coming and this, and they come in and they didn't even bring the mouse traps, and then they bring this and that. I just went through it for 3 months.
Yes.
As she did have an issue, she's gonna be having it for a while.
Pardon?
As she did have an issue with mice, she's gonna be having treatment for a while.
Correct.
So that they don't come back.
Right.
Lights don't come back.
The mice and any other insects that got in where the mice got in, yes. It's a long process and it is bothersome, we understand, but it's gonna be every 2 weeks for a while because she did have an issue.
I've been doing this for 3 months.
It's gonna
Okay,
be-
but
And like the guy doesn't even come in. Matter of fact,
so the
hasn't been coming for the last 4 weeks.
so the current treatment plan is every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so when is the next treatment scheduled?
It was supposed to be today,
And it didn't happen.
and it didn't happen because she put a sign on her door saying that she denies entry. So then it's gonna be in another 2-ish weeks, probably
19,
right.
19.
No, that's not what the whole note said. The whole note said, I
have a
need
picture here.
new poison boxes and new, the
Trapped.
mouse trap. So I put him in the bag and I talked to him and he's gonna bring me new ones. So I'm already following instruction. So he takes
Okay.
the old ones out.
Okay, but here's the thing. Ms. Melvin. And I don't want to have to do this because it won't necessarily do anybody any good. But you're going to need to let them into your unit every 2 weeks.
No problem there. But right now, because they moved all my stuff out of my house, I got boxes here, boxes here, boxes here. I don't even know what box has what. So he's gonna come in and probably fall over the boxes. Because I had to clear everything off my balcony because of 5 plants. My whole balcony is empty now. Who's gonna reimburse me all that money that went out the door?
Okay, that I don't know the answer to.
Oh, okay.
All I know,
No, but all the stuff that was removed, there weren't any dead mice in the boxes that were removed. So I got stuff over here, and then they say probably come in, oh, it's not 32 inches from that. Well, 32 inches from that was created by the other manager. When she decided to move my bookcase to that side.
I recall this.
The bookcase over here, then put the couch next to the bookcase, so all of a sudden the space from here to the window ain't 32 inches.
Your Honor, that's
You
a
know, they come and they expect to do.
standard, that's not.
No,
building
we're covered by her. We're supposed to be safe seniors living.
Okay, hold on a moment.
That's a city standard, that's not,
I know.
we have to follow the
The
city.
32
It's just-
inches.
we can't-
Yeah, okay,
we can't budge on that, Your Honor.
What's the 32
Well-
inches for?
it's basically gonna be a hallway between things, so it's about a 32 inches, that's their minimum hallway.
Oh, well, I fixed it.
And what's the problem with hers?
I think she doesn't have pathways that are 32 inches, or there's 32 inches from some item. So, for example, if you had a furnace, you need to have, things can't be closer, I think, than 32 inches to that furnace.
Why
Or
don't,
other ingresses and egresses. So,
And it's
The hallway there,
36.
pardon?
It's 36 inches, Your Honor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when I was hearing 32, I thought it was 3 feet.
Yeah, it's 36. It was adopted by the city. It's a city, and Your Honor, as she stated before, she's the one that called the city out to inspect her unit. The city found this, not us.
what?
found what?
Huh?
Found what?
That she
That-
didn't that she was failing to provide a minimum of 36 inches throughout the unit to every window by the code that was adopted by the city. The city building inspector decided that, not us.
Okay.
And we have to follow what the building inspector says.
I have pictures.
It's not the landlord enforcing the 36-inch clearance rule, it's the city building code that changes everything. When a municipal inspection cites a violation, the landlord doesn't have discretion, they must comply. And here's the reality the judge subtly acknowledges. Tenants often rearrange after inspections. That's human nature, but legally the clearance must exist at all times. Now think about the optics. Senior housing, 16 years living there peacefully, and suddenly clearance violations appear to her. It feels like the rules changed mid-game. But legally codes evolve, compliance is continuous. Question for you, should long-term tenants get leeway when codes change, or is safety always non-negotiable?
Pictures from the apartment.
Okay, well, yeah, no, I get that, but
Are you saying her table's too close to her couch?
Oh, I'm not saying that. We haven't been able to go in and inspect as she denied us entry for the Pest situation. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying she was saying 32 inches and acting or presenting it like it was the previous manager. And I was just clarifying that it wasn't our management at all. It was in fact the city building code, which we are,
the city building code requires that there be certain clearances, and it's typically 3 feet. Clearance.
To the approval of the previous manager.
Pardon?
That was completed to the approval of the previous.
Correct, but here's the thing, that while there may be these periodic inspections, those clearances have to exist at all times.
Okay.
So it's an issue. I mean, quite frankly, the way that this works is, and you realize this happens in places, is the inspection happens, they clear it to 36, and then quite frankly, just the reality of tenants, they will move that stuff back. And I mean, but when the inspection happens, the clearance needs to be there.
No. When you move in, hot gives you a sheet, which I pay that. It tells you, you want to be happy, enjoy this, enjoy this, enjoy this. Then all of a sudden, what now comes up? Do you have to be this way and this way? Well, why don't they give you that blueprint when you move in?
Okay,
you know where to put your furniture.
but Miss, I can't go back to the time that you moved in.
I know.
All right. So what I've got to do is I've got to deal with what we have right now. All right. But in terms of the approximate 3 feet, right now, my understanding is the inspection hasn't happened. So I'm not sure it's right for me to deal with even at this point, because I don't know that you're necessarily in violation of that. So I'm not going to deal with it. So I just need I need you to allow the insect treatment.
Allow what?
The treatment for pest control treatment. I need you.
That's no problem, because I told him if I to put the box.
Yeah, but you can't, but Miss Melvin, if they're going to come today, you can't then put a sign saying you can't come in today.
Well, I left the bag with all the dirt stuff in there on the front door. And I talked to the fellow and I said, I need new protection, the poison box, and I need new mouse traps. So he said, you bring it.
They still need to treat for the bugs.
Hmm?
They still need to treat for the bugs.
Well, I don't have any bugs.
I know you don't. That's besides.
I've been there over 16 years and I had any bugs.
Well, and they're trying to make sure that you don't. They're trying to make sure that you don't end up with any.
Pardon me?
They're trying to make sure that you don't end up with any. Sometimes, Miss Melvin, it's not necessarily you. It could be another unit. It could be whatever, but you've got to comply in the treatment, okay?
And
Okay, no problem.
Your Honor, once there's the presence of like mice or other things, there's a way that they're getting in, which
Correct.
prevents an opportunity for other insects, other things to get in through the same way that the mice got in.
Okay.
Why'd you?
The mice come
See,
through
here-
the wall.
I
And
know.
the mice can also come through the walls, is the point.
On the third floor too.
Yeah, but they can crawl.
On the regard,
They can
Mice.
crawl. That's the point. They have to.
It might be the flying mice. I don't know, but look, people.
some of the mice come through the walls. I bought tape to keep it sealed so they don't come out. I spent about $40 at the hardware store sealing them up so they didn't come up, because the treatment doesn't do that.
So here's what I'm doing.
I even picked up mice at the home, city hall.
So here's what we're gonna do, Ms. Melvin. Okay? There's the next inspection or treatment would be the 19th, and then there would be one, is it gonna be January 2nd then?
There's a nest
I would
infection.
say,
Where?
wait a minute. Let me look at the phones, or the calendar, sorry.
Who is? Oh, she is. Okay. I didn't see. Miss Young?
Yes.
Miss Young, you have your hand raised. I see you now in Zoom. My staff let me know I wasn't monitoring my screen.
Okay, are you able to hear me?
Yes, we are, ma'am.
Okay,
How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Your Honor. Yes, I do have a question
Sure.
in regards to Adult Protective Services and our involvement with Miss Melvin. It came to our attention because she was at risk of being evicted. We've been working with Miss Melvin since August 28th to be exact. I've been to her apartment several times. I've spoken with her. I've spoken with management. She also has resources through the Housing Bureau for Seniors. Adult Protective Services is not servicing Miss Melvin at this point. The service that we were attempting to provide to Miss Melvin was provided to her by her son. Her investigation is still open with us. My question is, I can't close out this investigation until I know that Miss Melvin is no longer at risk for eviction. So we've been kind of just sitting in the corner waiting to find out the
Yeah.
outcome. It doesn't seem like an outcome is going to happen anytime soon. Is Miss Melvin at risk for eviction? And at this point, is this just an issue? It just sounds like it's not APS worthy at this point. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what we're doing here.
Well,
Will Miss Melvin?
can I stop you for a moment and let me
Yes,
just
yes.
explain part of that? Hey, I hear you, because you also have to understand that for me, I started with one case involving a condition on her balcony. And so that was the original case. Subsequent to that, then another case was filed before we finished the balcony case. And another case was filed involving other issues which could lead to her termination. And I think that one,
Termination and then the health hazard.
the health hazard.
What was the health?
Hold on. I'm just trying to explain why we're like almost, well, we're not a year down the road, but we're a ways down the road. So maybe, certainly from any outside agency attempting to try to assist somebody, I think for you, you're looking at it like this thing started at this point, and now we're way down here, and it looks like it's not going anywhere. And that's because there are different targets. So then when we were dealing, and also appreciate this. So then when we were dealing with the health and safety issues, other issues regarding the balcony came back up. So I couldn't even close that case. And so it's just that we have these three cases all kind of filed at different times that just extend it and place her at a risk for eviction. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, it does. But from a APS standpoint, is she um hmm, is she safe? Is she vulnerable? Um, I'm just, it's just growing into something so much bigger. From an APS standpoint, she appears to be safe. Um, she's not vulnerable from our perspective. This seems like a landlord tenant issue.
Yeah, no, I think so look, that's probably a good point. I would have to say, if I'm looking at it from that standard, I would think that she is not vulnerable at this moment to eviction. I would attribute that in great part because of her son coming along and certain assistance being provided to get things done. All right. Now, in saying that, I'm not predicting the ultimate outcome of the cases, but I get what you're saying. I mean, you're trying to deal with.
Adult Protective Services is basically saying, is this really a vulnerability case anymore? That's huge because if APS determines she's not at imminent risk that weakens any narrative that she's incapable or endangered, the judge acknowledges something subtle but powerful. The son's involvement stabilized the situation. Courts look at support systems. If a tenant has family assistance and resources, they're less likely to be deemed vulnerable in a legal sense. And notice the judge's tone. This case isn't typical. It's layered. Procedural stacking has prolonged it. This isn't just eviction court anymore, it's conflict management, and the judge is clearly trying to steer this toward resolution instead of punishment.
Seniors that are at risk, serious risk of eviction, and other sort of bad things occurring to them in their housing. And
This just doesn't feel
I
like
would say this, at this point, as long as her son was as long as progress can be made, I would place her into a different category than that of vulnerable. Does that help you without me breaking a ruling?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I will consult with my superiors as well because this is a investigation that is not an investigation any longer. It's just kind of waiting on an outcome.
And I get it because, frankly, even as a case itself, it's not a case that it's not my typical case. It's just I get these layers added on, and it's trying to sort of manage a circumstance here. So I hear you. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I understand, Your Honor.
Okay.
So
Go ahead, ma'am. What were you gonna?
I will consult with my superiors to see if it's necessary for me to continue participating in these hearings, and also if we can move forward with an investigation closure, as it doesn't seem that Miss Melvin is at any type of imminent risk for harm.
Cool. I would have to agree with that. And the main, it's just, it's like every time I'm getting here, there's something else, but it's not.
And we were going to talk conditional dismissal today.
What'd you say?
We wanted to talk conditional dismissal today. We wanted to talk terms to put in a conditional dismissal to finish.
Right. So.
She was no longer.
Right.
That is where we are. However, we just kind of keep having these
correct
that pop up that we have to deal with and we can't ignore. And while we're in court, it's like.
Right. So, I don't know if you've heard that or not, but what everybody is looking for is a conditional dismissal with certain things laid out. if I were still on the first case, I could lay out myself the specific things that needed to be done. However, it moves. And so we've got to sit down and try to figure it out once we can get things sort of stabilized and put together a conditional dismissal.
Right.
So and that's where I'd like to head. But every time I get here, we've got to kind of head down some other path.
Yep.
And I'm going to let you know so you can have the opportunity to certainly speak with your superiors about closing the case. And while I appreciate why you might have to do that, it has been a comfort to me that you have been here. So, and I do really mean that, because it's one of those things of just, as we're trying to sort it through, you hear different things where there might be certain things that may be needed than the court would. So,
Yeah.
you know, so that's where we are.
Okay.
And folks, here's what I'm intending on doing is I want to get through two of these,
The Pest.
the pest inspections. And then I want to set this for a final settlement conference so I can hopefully close my 3 cases.
Right.
Instead of ruling piece by piece, the judge is aiming for a conditional dismissal, which is basically a legal peace treaty. The cases get dismissed if certain conditions are followed. That's efficient, that's problem-solving court in action, but here's the catch. Conditional dismissals require compliance on both sides. That means no more fire alarms, no more denial of entry notes, and likely documented inspections, and I love the judge's honesty. Nobody is happy. That's real-life court if everyone leaves slightly dissatisfied. It usually means the compromise was balanced. Now the clock is ticking toward January 20th. Will things stabilize, or will another issue pop up?
With a conditional order of dismissal.
So, Your Honor, we do believe that it's the second if the pest control services are open that day. If they're not, it would be the 9th.
The 9th?
That they would come.
Okay. So what's
So
my
after that.
date after the 9th?
Tuesday the 16th.
16th. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do.
Tuesday the 16th.
Yes, Tuesday the 16th at 9 a.m. I'm going to
The
want,
13th, you mean?
Are we talking December or January?
I'm talking January.
I apologize, I mean.
I was like, that's a Friday.
Thank you, Ann.
Can I help you?
So what would it,
So the first date after the 9th, which would be a Tuesday in January, is the 20th.
the 20th?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this for January 20th. All right. So on that day,
Mhm.
rather than have these numerous hearings going through saying we're going to do X, I'm going to order at this time, Ms. Melvin, that you're to comply with all pest extermination services and inspections.
Okay, can you say that again? Because I'm totally.
When they are coming to spray for bugs, all right, and
Okay.
insects, you are to cooperate in that process.
Call what?
You are to cooperate with that process.
Okay.
Okay? I don't want any more notes on the door that they can't come in.
That's the first time I put a note.
I know, it's the first time, and it's gonna be the last.
I didn't say you couldn't come in. When you raised me the new stuff, you could come in and post it.
Okay, all right.
It's a whole note.
So then, here's what we're gonna do on the 20th. Because I have the same feeling as Miss Young. At some point, this has to end.
And Your Honor, we believe that by that point, the city will be able to reinspect as well.
And the city will be able to reinspect.
Right,
So
that should give us enough time.
what I'm hoping is, at that point, Ms. Mellon, just listen to me. At that point, I'm gonna take whatever issue I have, whatever information I have, and I'm gonna fashion a remedy to be contained in the conditional order to dismiss. You understand that? So whatever issues you have between now and then, you bring them, and then I'm just gonna make a decision as to how we're gonna handle it and how it's gonna be handled in the future.
So do you want me to draft you one and then you see what we were thinking, the terms that we were thinking?
Yes, you can draft one that has the
Okay.
terms, but
No, I
you
get
know, but what I'm saying is, had I done this before, it wouldn't have included don't pull the fire alarm, right?
it. Right, because
So-
that didn't happen.
Because that hadn't happened. So I don't know what's going to happen between now and January 20th,
Yes.
but anything, and that goes for both sides, whatever issues the plaintiff has, bring them. I'm going to just make a call on it. Ms. Melvin, you bring to me whatever issues you have. We'll look at it, and I'm going to make a decision on it.
Can I have?
It would probably be my goal that when everybody walks out, I have a conditional order of dismissal and nobody is happy.
Who is she with?
Who is who
Adult
with?
Protective Services.
She's with Adult Protective.
Adult Protective Services.
Well,
The one that come out with the fellows to, put your stuff in boxes.
that was the state of Michigan?
Mhm.
That
Yes.
came with the federal marshal?
With the federal marshal, what?
Yeah. I got his business card.
All right. Okay, I don't know who came out there, Miss Melvin. If federal marshals came out, you're way more important than even I am.
Why?
We need a time for January 20th.
And that's at 9 a.m.
What the hell did I do?
What do you mean, what did you do?
I don't need the federal marshal protected.
No,
and all that stuff.
Miss Melvin, no federal marshals are coming out.
That has nothing to do with us.
All right?
Hey, Eric, do your thing.
This-
I'm calling on the Lord.
Okay.
Did you come out, you came out, you're the one that came out to put all the stuff in the boxes with the workers, right?
Yes, sir. That was me.
You
Where
didn't,
was I?
We spoke with Miss Melvin after the
Yes.
last court hearing, and then well, two hearings back. We made arrangements for our resources to come out to assist with packing and to move things around. It did not happen that day.
Can I have your name?
It did not happen that day because Miss Melvin was not ready for us to proceed with that project. And at that point, that was when I called you, Mr. Melvin, for your help. And you've been consistently helping since then.
Okay, Miss Melvin, let's listen.
okay, yeah, I understand
Okay.
what happened.
My blood pressure is 200 over 100 for the last 5 weeks. I
Okay,
can't
okay,
sleep
Miss
that
Melvin,
night.
Miss Melvin,
What
Miss Melvin.
is happening on my job?
Okay, Miss Melvin,
What
hold on.
did I do?
You did nothing, Miss Melvin.
That
All right, so here's what's gonna happen, Miss Melvin. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna see you in January, on January 20th, okay?
My grandmother's birthday.
Okay, and maybe there's something to be said for it being that day. Okay, we'll see you that day at 9 o'clock. We're gonna get this all hammered out so that everybody knows how things are gonna work, okay? Miss Melvin, what did I tell you before? You don't need to get worried about this. Nothing's gonna happen until I say it's gonna happen to you, and I haven't said it. I made you that promise at the beginning. I'm gonna keep my
I
promise.
know you did.
Okay? All right. Anything else? I'm not gonna ask that. I'm done.
We're done.
All right.
We're done.
We're done.
Okay.
We appreciate you, Your Honor.
Thank you, folks. Ms. Young, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Can I leave a copy with you just?
Yes, you can leave it with my staff. All right.
Yeah, another seal.